Welcome to Supplier Spot Spotlight, the podcast where we shine a light on the RV, park, and campground outdoor hospitality industry. Join us as we chat with suppliers, park owners, and staff, uncovering insights, strategies, and stories that will elevate your outdoor experience. Get ready for inspiration and innovation in every episode.
Hey there, Bobby Sorton here again with Supplier Spotlight Podcast. I'm here with Randy Hendrickson with Evolve Lodging. So Randy, thank you for being on with me. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to work with people like you, and I'll let everybody out there who's watching this. Randy and I are on the board of directors for the Arizona Campground Association. So we actually got to work together very closely doing the new revamping of the name change that just came out a few days ago. So the cool thing about doing these podcasts is there's so many different channels in this industry that people are always following and working with. And I know I met you for the first time last year in person at the glamping show.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was cool to meet you in person. And then now being part of the Arizona board, it's exciting to work with you and the others on the board, Mike Harrison and Roxy Baxley and Susan and all those other people. There's just such great people in this industry. And every time I do these podcasts, I always talk about how I like this industry so much that this is why I'm doing Supplier Spot, is I want to stay in this industry, but more importantly, I want something that people will like to go to that will help them. And I'm hoping that having a one-stop spot will do that. So what do you think about Supplier Spot, Randy? I know you give me a little bit of feedback, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. And first, thanks for having me on here. It's always a pleasure to visit with you. You're one of those great minds out there. So anytime I can learn from the master, I'm very happy to do that.
Oh, I don't know about a master. Sometimes I just spit stuff out I shouldn't even be saying. So.
Well, I know that feeling too. And we've come to know that about each other in our board work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I've come to know you as just a true professional and really care about your craft and what you do, and it shows in Supplier Spotlight. So I'm when I first saw that, I was immediately kind of saying to myself, okay, so this is different. This is doing something a little bit different. I trust the source. I know it's somebody who cares about the industry. For me, that's always important, right? And you and I have talked about this quite a bit of time. The integrity that's in this industry, kind of like you alluded to, the caliber of people that are in the industry, caring about uplifting one another, sharing information, what have you. If I'm fair, there's some websites, and we've all seen them, that come from a source that is not really in the industry and doesn't really know the way things kind of work. So for me, it's like, okay, this is Bobby's project. Number one, it's going to be great. Number two, the tech is going to be great. Number three, it's going to be easy to sign up. And my attention span. So easy to sign up is really important to me.
Yeah.
But it was easy to get onto the website. It's a great resource, and frankly, I would encourage anybody to take a look at that. And if you're not listed, get listed, because it's a great place to network with other folks and find out who's doing what and what services. So I'm grateful for you to putting that out to the industry.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. That was my whole thought process behind it was, when I was let go from a previous company I used to work for in this industry, I wanted to stay in it and say, okay, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go and work for a corporate company or work for somebody else, because I work hard with every job I do. I give it 100% every single time. And when you get a call or you jump onto what you think is a one-on-one, they're like, oh, sorry, we're letting you go. It's like, okay, what did I do wrong? Well, you did nothing wrong. You got our brand out there. You did everything what our marketing person should do. We just don't need you anymore. So, which I understand, especially if, you're paying a salary and you got to cut cost places. I understand that, but that's why I stuck with this, is saying I want to stick with something I can do. So, and I want to try it myself. So I convinced my wife, let me ride your coattails. So I really appreciate everything you said about that. Yeah.
There you go.
She works hard, and, we work together, building up, raising our kids. And there was a time where I was working multiple jobs and she stayed home with the kids. That way we could, balance our lives out. And now here I am with Supplier Spot and getting to talk to great people like you. So yeah, it's great. I know, I love how you said it's easy to sign up, because that was always my biggest goal, was to make it easy to sign up. And I already talked to you a little bit off camera, Randy, that we are going to be changing. I'm redoing the website right now.
Right.
We talked about Mike Harrison with CRR. Hey, Mike, nice to see you out there again. But did a little podcast with him, and before we came on, he's like, you know what? It's not that sexy of a website. I'm like, that's a good point, Mike. I'm going to redevelop that now. So that's why I'm going with this right now, is redeveloping to make it look better, but it's doing what it needs to do. But I know you said it was easy to sign up, so I know I can just go up here and type in Evolve in the search box and you pop right up. So
here we are.
So yeah, I mean, it's great to have you on here. As I mentioned, the new site's gonna be much easier to navigate, but I really do like everything you guys do here. So let's talk a little bit about Evolve now. What exactly is Evolve Lodging, and what did you do? How did you get started? And just tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so Evolve came about through a number of means. I've been in the industry. I've been blessed to be in this industry for almost 30 years now. Either that means I have a lot of stick to itiveness or I'm half crazy. It could be either. It may be both. But the truth of the matter is, when you're around anything for long enough, you start to notice some maybe inefficiencies or what could be done better.
Mm-hmm.
So, my business partner with Evolve Lodging, Michelle Oliver, and I had many conversations over the last couple of years, just kind of thinking about what's missing, right? And so, for us, it was accommodations. And this is not to disparage any of the great providers in the industry. There are great producers in the industry that put out great products. But what we were kind of seeing is we as a resort owner would like to have a little bit more stewardship over what that product looks like. So what we do at Evolve quite simply is this. For somebody's looking to add accommodations like cottages, RVIA certified park models, stick built cottages, any kind of accommodation, we encourage you to kind of visit with us. We'll look at some of our floor plans. And if you literally said, if that wall was 6 inches over, and if you could put some new windows, some transom windows along the top of this thing, and how about a deck off the side? We'll actually design that with you in real time, get you the virtual walkthrough, the photorealistic renderings. We'll put it to cost, and we have great manufacturing relationships with some significant players. And we can actually build to spec. We can build a park model to spec. And that's a claim that I don't think a lot of folks can truly make that allows for that customization. But a little bit more on that, once we have the accommodations, we don't want to stop there because someone's going to be staying in that unit. So what's their head going to be on when they go to sleep at night? What are they going to sit on outside in the porch? So Michelle and the rest of her team work really hard on the FF&E experience, what you're going to be sitting on, sleeping on inside.
Okay, what's
Charlie,
FF&E? I got to know what's
I'm sorry,
FF&E.
furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So
Ah,
basically, couches, chairs, tables, all that kind of stuff.
I thought it was like friends, finance, and equity. I don't
Well, it could be that
know.
too. I mean, that's part of the landscape, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, basically, what we do is we want to design the entire experience for somebody's guest. So when you're staying in one of those resorts, you want to be outside too. So we want to be focusing every bit as much on the outside of the unit as the inside of the unit. So let's get you good furniture inside, and let's also think about the deck, an outdoor kitchen, a chimenea, water features, really comfortable furniture. We have a great relationship with a significant national manufacturer on outdoor furniture. We can beat the heck out of Wayfair and a lot of other default choices some folks might look at online. So, in essence, what we just want folks to do when they're thinking about accommodations, just to give us a call and let's just start with what you want to see happen, and let's engineer a plan together and get you to the highest ADR, highest guest satisfaction. That's accommodations, that's furniture, that's decks, that's the entire process.
That's cool. Wow, that's quite extensive. I didn't even realize you could do all that stuff. So
Yeah, and it's in
that's
one of our
great.
funnier moments the other day. I think I made the comment, "We love what you hate." So we love the logistics. Someone else is going to be saying, "I don't want to call the park model person, then the construction crew, then the furniture people, and I don't want to have to coordinate a lot of stuff." We love that. That's what we do
Yeah.
best: is the logistics, setting, skirting, furniture, delivering, procurement, but getting the unit staged, the housekeeping, going through the punch list. By the time we leave, we hand you the keys and say, "You're ready to rent it." And I don't know anybody else who's doing that level of service.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It's great to see Paul's Way on your website too. I did a
Yeah.
podcast with him a few weeks ago, so he's got an interesting background and story as well. So,
Oh, it's
oh
just
yeah,
one
there's Mike right there. We were talking about Mike. So, oh, I got Casey coming on here pretty soon too. He's gonna talk with me on the
perfect.
podcast. A great guy. Him and Michael over there at CampSpot are great people. So yeah, it's cool. Oh, I
Absolutely.
just did one with Connor. Or I met with Connor today. Thanks to your introduction.
Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, I talked to him today. We talked a little bit about everything that Sage Advisory has to do, and he's actually going to come on the podcast. He already booked one for July because my calendar's getting booked out so far. So it's great to see the same people that I'm talking to are people that you talk to often as well. And I think that's what this is all about is this industry of connection. I know I was trying to figure out what word. I was talking with Connor about it. I think it was what word you came up with when we were talking about competitors and how you can have friendly competition. You said like
Co-opetition.
collapetition. That's what it was. I was like, I know it's collaboration and competitor, but I couldn't figure it out. So collapetition. Yeah.
Co-opetition, cooperative competition. That's exactly it.
Co-opetition. I was thinking it was
Yeah.
collaboration. So co-opetition. Okay. Got it.
It's
That's
a
a cool word.
tactic that car dealers use. When you go to an auto mall, you'll see Chevy next to Cadillac next to BMW, and that's co-opetition. They're competing for one another, but they're drawing customers all to one place, right?
Hmm.
And that's the alliance you just brought up there. I appreciate you bringing that up. It's great because it's one thing we really want people to know as well. We do literally everything A to Z, soup to nuts. But if there's something that somebody does better than us, we'll put you in touch with the Connor Schwabs and with all the other people with whom we're aligned because
Okay.
we align ourselves with great professionals who do great services. We're not so greedy that we have to have the entire pie all the time. If
Yeah.
someone's better at a certain thing, we're going to make sure you have the best treatment from the best vendor in the industry, and that's why those alliances are so critical.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And that's the same story I had when I was working for that other company traveling around is I met so many great people in this industry.
Yeah,
And most of the ones that I still talk to right now were the competitors, direct competitors of the company
yeah,
I was working for. And
yeah.
now we text message all the time, jokes and stuff, and then we play football pools together. I mean, it's just such a great industry. And I'm glad I kept them as friends and colleagues because now I've used them to get feedback about my side and getting onto it and getting their thoughts on it. So yeah, it's just, like you said, it's just a great industry to be in my opinion. And I've only been on this side of the industry for a couple of years now, but I'm of course an avid camper. I have a fifth wheel, a boat, and we do our stuff. We've gone all over the place hauling our fifth wheel around. So, and then now our two
Yeah.
kids, our daughter just graduated, our son will graduate in 2 years, and I keep trying to convince my wife. I don't think I'm gonna have to convince her once I show her these diesel pushers that I want to get us, get us a
Yeah.
big nice Class A diesel pusher and start doing some upscale resorts so we can be out there at the campgrounds and talking with the campground owners and staff members being part of that. So
It's such a great lifestyle, and there's so many great people in it. To your point, and it's really interesting. I mean, having been around this industry for about 3 decades, there was a time when it was a lot more competitive, and it was my territory and your territory. That's all changed. I think society has changed, culture has changed. The whole emphasis on we're stronger together than we are apart. So relationships that even a few years ago might have been testy, it's kind of like we speak the same language. I want
yeah,
what you want. The pie is big enough. Let's
yeah,
figure out how to be of service to one another. That's a
mhm,
great day at work. Every day is a great day at work for me. I think I'm one of the sickeningly happiest people you'd ever want to meet because I love what I do every day. I work with great people like yourself, great
mhm,
clients. We just go out there and try to make a difference. That's
yep.
all.
Yeah, that's the best point, and the way I'm looking at it too is when you're not pressured by some CEO at the top of the branch because the board of
Correct.
directors is saying, how come we're not meeting our numbers?
Right.
It's kind of a little bit of a relief when you're like, all right, as long as I can maintain a good,
Yeah.
decent income and have fun and enjoy what I do and meet great people, I mean, it's all going to be karma. It's all going to come back on somebody. So yeah, you made a very good point on that one. So
Yeah, there you go. You can't call it work if it's also your hobby, right?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I love about it. Before one of my previous jobs, I didn't travel very much. I'm born and raised Colorado. I've been here my whole life. And the first time I ever saw the ocean, I was like 21 years old. And that's because a company sent me for training to California.
Yeah.
Now that I'm working in this industry, I've been to more places across the U.S. that I've never even heard of and seen so many cool things that this is a great industry to be in. So,
No, the best. The
laid
best.
back and, yeah, so I do like everything you're doing too with Evolve Lodging, and of course being on the board with you with Arizona. We're doing great things there, and it's great to have such a well-rounded industry, and I'm glad to have you on Supplier Spot and be able to continue this relationship. So I do appreciate you being on here with me, Randy. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about with Evolve or anything else you got going on with. I know you got other businesses as well. If you ever want to talk about any of those too, so I know
Yeah,
you.
I mean, our other business is the Intrepid Group, and that's a
Oh yeah,
full
that's right.
service brokerage. We've been doing that for a long time. We've sold about 300 million worth of RV parks. You never hear about the Intrepid Group because everything's off market, principal to principal, which is our preferred way of doing things. And so that's a company that's very much related to Evolve because
Yeah.
literally anybody coming into or already in this space, they're looking to either acquire other assets or sell the assets they have or reposition their asset, rebrand their asset, do CapEx budgets, add to it. So I feel like we're serving the entire life cycle of the outdoor hospitality industry. It's
Trying to,
almost like
trying to find
it's
the
not,
website real quick. What's the address for Intrepid Group?
yeah, theintrepidgroup.com.
Oh, okay.
You
Cool. Bring
know,
it up while you're talking.
it kind of goes to everything we're kind of talking about here, which is and it's not self-congratulatory to say that if somebody has got a question about how do I do this or where do I find this, give us a call. If we don't do it, we can find somebody who does, just like we were talking about earlier. But the whole idea is to kind of be one call to get everything done. I mean, literally buy, sell, redevelop, buy the accommodations, the whole inside outside thing. We've learned enough over the years, and Michelle Oliver and I have kind of crafted this thing to do exactly that, to be not a seller of goods, but a provider of services, right? And that's a key difference.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it seems like a great thing you got going on, kind of hitting all different aspects of everything. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean this is great stuff. So again, Randy, I do appreciate you taking the time to be on here with me. Oh, here, I just had it pop up real quick. I was going to show the website as my browser over here wasn't cooperating with me with this.
That's okay.
You know how that goes with all this great technology we got going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great to see that you got so much stuff going on with brokerage and marketing and everything else, and that's cool video there with a nice little fire pit. So, yeah. So I think it's great to know that Evolve Lodging and Intrepid Group and all this is all together. So it looks like you got like a one-stop spot yourself, almost kind of like a supplier spot, but a little bit different. So.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, we're like a what do you want to call it? A living, breathing supplier spot. So we could probably list about 6 companies that we're all aligned with just on my side. And you're going to hit me up for more listings now, probably, and rightly
Probably,
so. Sure.
yeah, probably. So, no, this is great. I mean, it's good to know about all this stuff too, not just for me, but for everybody out there who are looking for somebody to help you out with everything that has to do with RV parks and financing and brokerage and marketing, all that good stuff. And I do appreciate you too reaching out to me for a little bit of marketing stuff as well. So looking forward to working
100%.
with you and Michelle in the future here, doing some stuff with your new CRM, and so a lot of good stuff happening.
We're excited to be working with you on that. We're grateful to you for that because you're the expert, the guru on HubSpot. I certainly am not. Free admission. That would not be me. I'm not that guy, but it's good to know the right guy for it. See, case in point, I don't know what I'm doing, but Bobby knows what he's doing. Let's call Bobby.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. So,
hey, I just want to give one last little shout out to anybody other businesses out there who might be listening. If you've not had the pleasure of talking with Bobby, give Bobby a call and check out Supplier Spot. In my estimation, it's one of the best sites going out there. It's a great place to find out the great companies that are doing good business. Bobby's going to treat you right. I promise you that.
Hey, I appreciate that, Randy. I'll give you the $20 later when I see you. Okay. So.
It was 40.
Oh, 40. How it's doubled? Jeez. Last time it was 20.
Well, I threw in more adjectives.
I appreciate that. But I'll definitely, I know probably the next time I'll actually see you in person is probably going to be the glamping show. So
that's right.
I'll see you in October. But yeah, thank you again for coming on, Randy. I really do appreciate it. Everybody, again, thanks for watching. Go check out Evolve. You can get through them through Supplier Spot and theintrepidgroup.com. He's got a lot of good stuff there. He's on LinkedIn often too, very active. I see you there quite a bit. So go on to LinkedIn and find him as well. So.
My home away from home, LinkedIn. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks, Randy. Thanks, everybody.
My pleasure, Bobby. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Supplier Spot Spotlight. Keep shining bright in the RV, park, and campground outdoor hospitality industry. Stay tuned for more illuminating conversations with industry experts. Until next time, enjoy the great outdoors.